All right, let's jump right into day 18 of this explainer. Up until now, our code has had, well, one major flaw. We've been dealing with volatile memory. Basically, the second your program ends, all that precious data just vanishes into thin air. So our main goal today is to finally figure out how to make our data stick around for good.
I mean, think about it. How do applications actually save data permanently, even after you close the program? We've all felt that absolute panic of working on a document, accidentally closing the app without saving, and losing literally everything. It is a total nightmare, right? We need a reliable way to take all that information sitting temporarily in our computer's RAM and write it down permanently. This is basically our data rescue mission.
Here is our roadmap for today. We'll start with the data disappearance problem, move on to mastering Python file modes, reading and writing data, working with CSV files, go over some file handling best practices, and wrap up with some real-world Python projects. Let's get into it.
All right, part 1, the data disappearance problem.
So, imagine your Python code is this super busy factory worker just churning out valuable data, but without a warehouse to store it all, everything just gets tossed out at the end of the shift. Well, that warehouse, that is file handling. By definition, it's the programming mechanism that allows you to read, write, and manage files for persistent data storage. Persistent is absolutely the magic word here. It means your data actually survives the shutdown. It gets written directly to your hard drive. File handling is exactly how your code reaches outside of its own temporary little existence and leaves a permanent mark on your computer.
Moving on to section 2, mastering Python file modes.
To interact with our new data vault, we're going to need the right keys, which Python naturally calls modes. First up, R is for read-only. We can look inside, but we can't touch a thing. Then there's W for write-only. Be careful with this one because it actually clears out the entire vault to put new things in. It completely overwrites any existing data. Then we have A for append. This is like sliding new data under the door without destroying what's already inside. And finally, those plus sign variants, they give you dual access, so you get read and write and read, or append and read. Just keep in mind, picking the wrong mode here is a super easy way to accidentally delete your data.
Okay, section 3, reading and writing data.
Once that vault is open, we need our action commands. On one side, we're pulling data out. We've got read to grab the whole file, readline to take it line by line, or readlines if you want it returned as a neat little list. Now, on the flip side, we're pushing data in. You'll use write for a single string and readlines for sending a whole list of strings straight into the file. It honestly just comes down to one simple question. Am I pulling data out or pushing data in?
I really want to pause and emphasize appending for a second because it is such a unique and essential action. Appending adds new data, but it strictly does not overwrite your existing content. If you're building, say, a log of user activity or saving daily temperature readings, you definitely don't want yesterday's data getting erased when you record today's. Appending protects your historical records while letting your datasets just grow and grow.
Next up, section 4, working with CSV files. Up until now, we've mostly been talking about unstructured text, but in the real world, data is highly organized, which brings us to CSV files. A CSV, which stands for comma-separated values, is a file format that stores structured data separated by commas. Imagine an Excel spreadsheet, but stripped down to its absolute bare bones. No bold fonts, no colors, just raw data where every single comma represents a new column and every new line is a new row. Python actually has built-in tools to handle these perfectly. CSVs are pretty much the undisputed industry standard for lightweight, organized data handling.
Let's jump to section 5, file handling best practices.
All right, let's talk data protection. The absolute most crucial rule here is to always close your files properly. See, when you open a file using those modes we just talked about, Python actually asks your operating system to lock that file. If your program finishes or if it crashes without closing it, you are basically leaving that vault door wide open. Other programs might not be able to access it, or even worse, the data you thought you saved might not actually make it to the drive. It is a total recipe for data corruption, and we want to avoid that for sure.
Thankfully, Python gives us a rather brilliant safeguard. According to the source material, quote, using the with statement ensures persistent data storage by closing files automatically and properly, end quote. Guys, this is the absolute gold standard for file handling. Instead of manually opening a file, writing to it, and just hoping you remember to type the close command later, you open the file inside a with block. Once your code finishes running whatever commands are inside that block, Python automatically slams the vault door shut and locks it for you. It guarantees your data is safe, even if the code throws an error. Honestly, using the with statement is just an absolute must.
And finally, Section 6, Real-World Python Projects.
Let's ground all this theory in reality. Some practical applications derived straight from our source material include things like attendance systems, student records, and automated report generation. The thing is, none of these applications are even possible without file handling. I mean, an attendance system is completely useless if it forgets who was in class the second the bell rings, right? Automated reports require pulling data from one file, crunching the numbers, and writing it out to a brand new file. These are foundational systems used in literally every school and business out there.
So let's look at how this builds into an actual mini project, like a student data storage system. Step 1. Your program takes the student attendance input from the user. Step 2, you open your daily log file. And how do we do that? We use the with statement for safety, and we use the A mode, append, so we definitely don't erase yesterday's attendance. Step 3, you append the new student record right to the bottom of the file using a write command. And step 4, you exit that with block, which auto-closes the file and safely saves it to the hard drive. Boom! You have just built a fully functional, persistent data application.
It's honestly pretty amazing to see how file handling takes us from writing simple scripts that just vanish into thin air to creating actual permanent data systems. By understanding those different modes, the read and write methods, working with CSVs, and of course, mastering the with statement, you've made a massive leap forward in your coding journey today.
Before you go fire up your code editor, I want to leave you with one final, slightly provocative thought. This is actually pulled directly from a common technical interview question mentioned in our source material. Imagine you are sitting across from a hiring manager for a junior developer role, and they look right at you and ask, "What are file modes?" Based on everything we just covered in this explainer, how would you explain it to them? Think about the vault, think about those keys, and think about the sheer power of deciding exactly how you want to handle your data. Keep that scenario in mind as you start practicing. Thanks for joining me on this one, and as always, happy coding.